Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into some advanced strategies for mastering English. It's about gaining, real linguistic power.
hmm
We've pulled together insights from a fantastic guide on C1 level success, drawing from great works like English Mastery, English Insights, Linguistic Nuances, and The Art of Effective Communication.
Yeah, some really solid sources there.
Think of this as your personal shortcut to, well, truly sophisticated English communication. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here is that we're not just like defining C1 concepts. We're aiming to arm you with practical strategies, actionable tips,
Right?
and those critical thinking tools designed specifically to empower you, to really help you excel.
Whether it's for the Cambridge C1 exam or, say, professional success.
Exactly. The mission is to help you move beyond just knowing the words to truly wielding them effectively.
Okay, so we're going to kick things off by tackling something that seems simple, but, well, it has incredible depth. Decoding the news. This isn't just listening practice. It's really about sharpening your critical analysis skills. I mean, when you think about how fast news is delivered and all that specialized vocabulary they throw at you,
Yeah.
it's pretty clear why this is crucial for C1 proficiency, right? Both in exams and just, understanding the world.
Absolutely. Engaging with the news isn't just about staying current, though that's important. It's actually a powerful training ground.
How so?
Well, it enhances your global awareness, sure, but maybe more importantly, it sharpens your listening by exposing you to rapid-fire info, different viewpoints,
Yeah.
complex language.
All vital stuff for advanced academic and professional settings.
Precisely.
So let's jump into what we're calling headline challenges, because these look so simple, but they're deceptive.
They really are. Headlines are incredibly concise.
Yeah.
They often strip out articles, use present simple for past events.
Meaning you're constantly having to infer context, sort of fill in the blanks yourself.
Right. Take an example like PM faces backlash over new policy. You know it's about a prime minister, but the why, the how, the real depth of the situation, that's all implied. You have to figure it out.
And then you get those abbreviations thrown in. PM, UN, WHO, COP26.
Yeah, without that prior knowledge, they can be complete roadblocks, can't they?
Totally.
And sometimes the ambiguity feels, well, deliberate. Consider something like, red tape holds up new bridge.
Okay, what about it?
Is the red tape delaying the construction, or is it literally, holding up a ceremonial ribbon for a new bridge?
Ah, I see. It could mean two very different things.
Exactly. And the critical insight for you as a C1 learner is recognizing this potential vagueness.
So what can you do?
A really practical tip is to actively try predicting the article's content just from the headline.
Okay.
It forces you to engage with that implied context, which is a vital skill for reading between the lines in advanced tasks and just, real-world situations.
That makes sense. So once you start getting a handle on headlines, you find political discourses, well, that's a whole other level of strategy, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. That's where language really flexes its persuasive muscles. Words become tools. Meanings get incredibly nuanced, indirect.
Yeah.
Think about euphemisms, for instance. They don't just soften harsh realities. They're often used strategically.
Right, how?
To distance speakers from accountability, maybe? Or to shape public perception without actually lying? Like economical with the truth?
Which just means lying, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But it sounds so much better, right? Then there's the passive voice, that famous example, mistakes were made.
Right. It avoids saying who made the mistakes.
Exactly. It deflects blame very effectively.
Yeah.
So, for your critical listening, a great exercise is to actively listen for evaded questions in political interviews.
Good idea.
It's not just about what they say, but what they deliberately don't say, or, how they choose to phrase things.
Okay, moving on. If you've ever tried to follow, say, a financial report, you know that economic terminology can feel like learning a new language.
Oh, absolutely. Terms like fiscal policy or quantitative easing just flying around.
It can feel really daunting.
It's true. It's a very specialized area. But making these terms memorable is possible, often through vivid imagery, actually.
Like what?
We often use animal metaphors. Think bearish for falling markets, bullish for rising ones.
Ah, right. They paint a clear picture.
Exactly. And for C1 mastery, it's also really critical to distinguish the subtle precision in numbers in news.
How so?
Well, rose by 2 percentage points is very different from rose by 2%.
Explain that.
The second one, rose by 2%, means a proportional increase from whatever the base number was. The first is an absolute change in the percentage figure itself. Understanding that difference is key to interpreting data right.
Got it. That's a subtle but important distinction.
Definitely. Also, listen for comparative language, like outperformed expectations. It's designed to frame performance positively.
Right, and forecasts.
Yes, forecasting terms like outlook remains uncertain. And here's a powerful visualization tip. Try picturing a graph in your mind when you hear economic reports.
Like visualizing a line going up or down.
Exactly. A steep decline or a sharp rise makes the abstract numbers much more concrete in your head.
That's useful. Now, even with strong vocabulary, one of the hurdles lots of learners face is international accents.
Right, huge hurdle. Yeah.
It can seriously trip you up when you're trying to follow a conversation or, a news report from another country.
That's a crucial point, especially because C1 exams deliberately feature a wide range of accents. UK, US, Australian.
And regional ones, too.
Yes, various regional accents like Scottish, maybe Irish. It absolutely demands diversified listening practice. You can't just listen to one type.
So what's a good way to practice?
A fantastic practice technique is to compare news coverage from different global outlets. Try CNN, then maybe Al Jazeera, then ABC Australia.
Ah, so you hear the same story but told in different accents and styles.
Exactly. It trains your ear to different pronunciations, intonations, even speech rhythms. And don't forget regional terms.
Like gas versus petrol.
Precisely. Or lift versus elevator. Keeping a dedicated vocabulary notebook just for these variations can really help you navigate those differences confidently.
Okay, so all these skills, understanding headlines, political language, economic terms, accents, they all build towards the ultimate goal, which is critical listening. That ability to not just hear information, but to actively distinguish facts from opinions, and crucially, to spot underlying biases.
This is where you become a truly sophisticated listener.
Yeah.
You need to look for opinion signals, phrases like, I believe, it seems, in my view.
Clear markers that it's subjective.
Right, not necessarily verified fact. And pay close attention to emotive language, using a word like disastrous instead of just negative.
Reveals a bias or an intent to sway your emotions.
Exactly. It tells you something about the speaker's perspective. For note-taking during listening, the Cornell method is excellent.
The one with notes, questions, summary.
That's the one. It helps structure your thoughts in real time, lets you process and analyze as you listen. And for speed, develop some shorthand tips.
Like symbols.
Yeah, simple symbols. An up arrow for increase, down for decrease, question mark for something unclear, whatever works for you.
Makes sense.
And finally, always ask yourself, what's missing from this report? What alternative views might exist? That makes your listening truly active, truly analytical, not just passive reception.
This first part has really been about understanding the information coming at you, hasn't it? Dissecting what you hear and read.
Taking it apart.
Now, let's transition to how you express yourself with precision and power. We're talking building your advanced vocabulary and mastering linguistic nuance.
Right. This is where you cross that B2 versus C1 gap. B2 level English gets you by it's functional, but C1. C1 gives you real linguistic freedom.
Freedom to do what exactly?
To express subtle shades of meaning,
Yeah.
to persuade effectively, to engage in complex discussions with confidence. But there's a challenge.
Which is?
The forgetting curve. It's pretty brutal. Without reinforcement, research suggests you could forget a staggering 70% of new words within just 24 hours.
70%. Wow, that's huge. So beyond just like drilling flashcards, what are the most effective, maybe science-backed ways for C1 learners to fight that forgetting curve?
Okay, yeah, the science is pretty clear here. Spaced repetition is probably your most powerful ally.
Reviewing words at increasing intervals.
Yeah, exactly. It leverages how your brain actually consolidates memory over time. Another really effective technique is creating emotional connections.
Tying words to feelings or stories.
Yes. Link a new word to a personal story, a strong feeling, a vivid image. Your brain hangs on to things with an emotional hook much better.
Interesting.
And focus on word families. If you learn a root word like construct, you instantly unlock related words. Construction, reconstruct, constructive.
So one root gives you multiple words.
Right. Like if you really master appear, you've also got appearance, disappear, apparently.
Right.
And always aim for context learning.
Meaning learn words from real sentences, not just lists.
Precisely. Words learned in isolation are just slippery. Seeing them used in real-life articles, conversations, books, that's what makes them stick.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Crucially for C1, you absolutely need to master collocations.
Those natural word pairings.
Yeah, like we say, heavy rain, not strong rain, or make a mistake, not do a mistake. Ignoring collocations can make your English sound unnatural, even if your grammar is perfect.
So how do you learn them?
Use collocation tools. Good dictionaries often list them, or you can use online corpora, like the British National Corpus, to see how words are typically used together.
Okay.
And set yourself realistic vocabulary goals. Maybe just 1 or 2 relevant new words a day. Don't try to learn 50.
Sustainable growth.
Exactly. And focus on domain-specific words. Words relevant to your field medicine, business, technology, whatever it is. Track your progress. Use a journal, an app, flashcards. But above all,
Consistency.
consistency. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Continuous effort.
This idea of linguistic nuances, that feels like where the real artistry of C1 communication comes in, especially connotation versus denotation.
Absolutely. It's about understanding that words aren't just labels with dictionary meanings. That's their denotation.
The literal meaning.
Right. They also carry emotional weight, cultural associations, subtle suggestions. That's their connotation.
Give me an example.
Think about the word sick. Denotation. Illness. But in some contexts, like youth slang.
It means amazing or cool.
Exactly. A completely different connotation. Now apply that to professional settings. Consider cheap versus economical.
Both mean low cost.
Denotatively, yes. But cheap often has a negative connotation suggesting poor quality, maybe cutting corners. Economical, however, sounds positive, implies smart financial management.
So the choice of word really impacts perception.
Hugely. That's the workplace impact. Describing a colleague is stubborn, negative connotation. Calling them determined. Positive, even if it describes similar behavior.
That's powerful.
It is. And be aware of things like gender bias, sometimes hidden in connotations. Is someone curious? Positive? Or nosy? Negative. Sometimes the word choice reflects stereotypes.
Interesting point.
And connotations shift over time. Think about shifting connotations. The word literally.
People use it to mean figuratively all the time now.
Right. Its connotation has evolved in informal use, or viral. Used to be purely negative, like a disease now. Mostly positive online popularity.
Yeah, that's a big shift.
Recognizing these shifts shows real C1 adaptability. And don't forget regional variations. Biscuit means something very different with different connotations in the UK versus the US.
True. Cookies versus, well, biscuits.
Exactly. Understanding these nuances often comes from extensive reading in your field, or using connotation tools, like getting peer feedback on your word choices. It elevates your communication from just correct to truly impactful.
So practically speaking, if we understand these subtle connotations, how does that make us more effective communicators day to day?
Well, it's absolutely vital for persuasive communication. By deliberately choosing words with specific connotations, think tax relief instead of tax cut.
Relief sounds more positive, like removing a burden.
Precisely. You can subtly evoke a particular emotional response or frame an idea more favorably, often without changing the core facts. It lets you connect with your audience on a deeper level, not just intellectually.
But there are ethical considerations there too.
Well, absolutely. You need to be mindful of ethical considerations. Using connotation to manipulate rather than clarify is a slippery slope. The goal is impact, but also integrity.
Right. Okay, that brings us perfectly to our final section. Communicating with impact. Clarity, structure, and delivery.
Bringing it all together.
This is really the art of communication, the culmination of everything focusing on making your message undeniably clear, whether it's at work or in personal life. And the value is huge, isn't it? Saves time, money.
Builds trust. Absolutely crucial.
So what are the key strategies for achieving that clarity?
It starts with word choice. Be specific. Instead of improve performance, say, reduce customer response time by 15%. Vague language kills clarity.
Okay. Specificity.
Then think about sentence structure. Keep sentences relatively concise. Aiming for under, say, 25 words generally makes things much easier to read and understand.
Shorter is better, usually.
Usually, yes. And always favor active voice. The team completed the project is much clearer, more direct than the passive. The project was completed by the team.
Passive voice can be a bit weak sometimes.
It can obscure agency, yeah.
Yeah.
Ensure logical flow. Use transition words and phrases next, however, consequently, in addition to guide your listeners smoothly through your points.
Like signposts.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, always self-edit. Read your writing aloud, you catch awkward phrasing, step away, come back with fresh eyes, and be ruthless about cutting jargon your audience might not know.
Good advice. Now, thinking about academic discourse lectures, presentations, that logical structure becomes even more critical, right? You're dealing with complex ideas.
Absolutely critical. You need to provide a clear roadmap for your audience. Tell them what you're going to cover it, then tell them what you've covered.
Reduces cognitive load.
Precisely. Research backs this up. Cognitive studies show that explicit cues about structure significantly improve how much people remember. Use clear transitions phrases like, moving on to our next point, or to summarize this section.
Makes it easy to follow.
Yeah. And you have to make choices about depth versus breadth. You can't cover everything in detail. It's often more impactful to choose a few key points and explore them thoroughly rather than giving a superficial overview of too many things.
Quality over quantity. Okay, so how do we make those complex ideas truly accessible, especially when academic language can be so dense?
It starts with linguistic clarity. That means actively simplifying complex academic terms where possible, or at least explaining them clearly, without losing precision.
Knowing your audience is key there, I imagine.
Huge. Audience awareness is crucial. You need to gauge their likely familiarity with your terminology before you even start. Always use concrete examples. Abstract ideas become much clearer when linked to everyday scenarios or tangible things.
And analogies.
Analogies can be great comparing a complex concept to something simpler and familiar. But be careful. Ensure the analogy is accurate and doesn't oversimplify or mislead.
Good point. Any pitfalls to avoid?
A common pitfall in academic settings is overusing the passive voice. As we said, it can reduce clarity and make your arguments feel less direct or confident. Stick to active voice where you can.
Okay. And beyond just clarity, what about really connecting with listeners, creating real audience engagement?
This is so important. The best presentations connect emotionally. Try to align your talk with your listeners' existing audience knowledge and interests. What do they care about? How does this relate to them?
Make it relevant.
Exactly. And be mindful of attention spans. People tune out. Vary your delivery, tell a story, ask a question, use a visual, change your pace roughly every 10 to 15 minutes to re-engage them.
Keep them on their toes.
Sort of, yeah. And embrace authenticity. Being genuinely enthusiastic, even if you're not perfectly polished, often engages audiences far more than a robotic, flawless delivery. People connect with people.
Makes sense. Be yourself.
Within reason, yes. And find a balanced formality. Be professional and credible, of course, but remain approachable. Don't create too much distance.
Let's touch on something often overlooked, but as you say, incredibly powerful. Prosody. The music of speech. Pauses. Emphasis. Rate.
Ah, yes, the hidden layer. It's incredibly powerful for C1 communicators, often unconsciously.
So break it down. Pause power.
Okay, pause power. Brief pauses before you deliver a key point can significantly boost audience retention. It creates anticipation, gives a moment for thought.
With a little drum roll.
Kind of. Then there's speech rate. Generally around 150, 160 words per minute is optimal for comprehension in English. Too fast, people get lost. Too slow, they get bored.
Finding that sweet spot.
Intonation is vital. Rising intonation for questions, falling for statements. It guides the listener's understanding of sentence function.
Basic, but crucial.
Absolutely. And voice modulation, varying your pitch, your volume, your tone. You can use it strategically to emphasize critical words or ideas and just to keep the listening experience interesting.
How can people practice this?
The best practice tip is simply to record yourself, giving a presentation, even just reading something aloud. Then listen back specifically for your pauses, your pace, your intonation. You'll notice things immediately.
Self-awareness is key. Okay, finally, how do we establish that academic authority in a way that feels credible and impactful but not arrogant?
It's a really delicate balance, isn't it? Confidence in your knowledge combined with humility in your presentation.
How does that manifest?
A lot comes down to nonverbal cues, confident posture, purposeful gestures, maintaining good eye contact. These silently signal expertise and trustworthiness.
Body language matters.
Definitely. And how you handle tough questions is huge. Thoughtfully addressing challenges, even admitting when you don't know something, but suggesting where to find the answer, builds immense trust and shows intellectual integrity.
It's okay not to know everything.
Absolutely. And always remember to adapt your authority signals to different cultural contexts. What reads as confident and authoritative in one culture might seem aggressive or standoffish in another. Sensitivity is key.
What a journey we've been on. We've covered, well, so much ground. From dissecting news nuances and building that advanced C1 vocabulary, all the way to communicating with real clarity and impact. This deep dive has really laid out some essential tools for mastering C1 English.
And it's important to remember this learning journey is continuous, isn't it? Every piece we've discussed today, spotting bias in a headline, choosing a precise word, pausing effectively.
It all builds on each other.
Exactly. It all builds towards that C1 mastery. It's not just one thing.
You know, the sources really highlight that true C1 mastery isn't just about knowing more words. It's about using them with precision, understanding their subtle power.
The nuance.
So as you listening continue your own learning journey, here's something to consider, maybe mull over. How might mastering this art of linguistic nuance and clear communication allow you to not only express your ideas with much greater impact, but also to more deeply understand the unstated intentions, the hidden biases maybe, in all the messages you receive every single day?